Welcome back to another Living Connected for 11 Minutes video. On this week's video, Rachel's going to be sharing a personal story about how a dying man gave her the greatest gift she's ever gotten and changed our view of death forever.
So stick around if you want to hear about that. I've been given permission from my very good friend and her family to share this story about her dad, Blaine, who unfortunately and very sadly passed away from cancer. And how this all started was she reached out to me and she told me that her dad had just found out that his cancer was going to be terminal. And she asked him if he would do an energy healing with me. And he had never done anything like that before, but he said he was willing to try. And the whole family ended up doing sessions with me during the last few months of his life. And of course, I think we were all hoping for the same thing. We wanted that miracle healing to occur. And we kept praying for the miracle and praying for the miracle. And these sessions were beautiful. I've talked about them in other Living Connected for 11-minute videos. He was the man that I saw, and I was like an angel carrying him, and then my friend was doing the session, and from her perspective, she saw an angel carrying her dad, and it confirmed what I saw and what she saw. It was true. There was really angels there holding him and helping him. And the miracle that we received, that he told me before he passed, the miracle that he got was peace that he felt in his heart before he passed, because before he was doing the sessions, he was very scared, and they brought the whole family some peace. And I'm not saying that it wasn't hard when he passed and that they haven't been going through a really tough time. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that for that one part of his journey, it brought peace, and that was a really special gift. And he told me that he wished there was a gift that he could give to me. And of course, just being a part of their family, getting to know him in those last few months, that was the gift I thought that I was meant to receive, because he was such a beautiful spirit and soul, and I was blessed to be around him while he was still here on earth. But then they invited me into his room in his final day or final moments here on earth. And I was doing a session for him, and his son was in the room with me, and then his son left, and it was just Blaine and myself. And I was in a meditative state, and I was, just surrounding him with the angels, energy and love. And I was in a pretty deep meditative state with him in the room. And he was not conscious at this time. There was no communicating that day when I was there at all. And he passed away a few hours later. So that's where he was at on his journey. I can already tell that I'm gonna have a hard time getting through this story, but I think it's important, because what he ended up giving me in his final hours is the greatest gift I've ever received. And it helped heal my shattered heart in a way that I just never imagined possible. And it really did change the way that I looked at death forever. And so I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to blubber all over this video, but it's important. So I'm in this meditative state, and all of a sudden I see Blaine. My eyes are closed. This is just in my mind. And he's standing in front of me, and he's healthy and he's happy. And Kenadie, my daughter, who's across the veil, was standing right next to him. And there were some other people that I didn't recognize that were with him. And I said to him, wow, I knew instantly that I was in heaven with them. And I said, are these the people that are going to be greeting you? And I'm thinking they're ancestors of his. And he said, yeah, but he wanted to show me something because he said there's something that everybody gets wrong. And I said, okay. And he starts walking, and we're in the woods, and it's dark, but it's not scary at all. It feels just like around here. We're from the Pacific Northwest. It just felt like a really beautiful wooded area, and we're walking through, and it was Kenadie and Blaine in front of me, and I'm just following them, and I have no idea where we're going. And all of a sudden, there's this opening in the woods, and there's a campfire in the middle. It feels like there's noise and laughter, and there's a bunch of people there. It just feels like a family camping trip is what it felt like. And I look over, and there's my friend, and she's there with her husband and her two boys, or three boys, I mean. And her brother is there, and his wife, and their daughter, and then Blaine's wife is there, and all of these people that I know are there. And the confusing thing is that I thought I was just in heaven, but these people are all still very much alive. And so I was confused for a moment. And then the scene changed, and it was Kenadie. And just Kenadie. And she ran into my arms and wrapped her arms around me, and I realized that that was the moment that she crossed over. And you were there, and her sister was there, and her little brother, who wasn't even born yet, was there. And all of a sudden, I just understood it. I went from being totally confused to understanding that we are never separated. So when we think of who greets us on the other side, we always think of grandparents, people that have passed on before. And that's true. They are there. I mean, those were the people that I saw that I didn't recognize. They are there, and they're very excited to greet you. But our loved ones that are still here on earth also are greeting us across the veil, because a part of our soul is always there. It's like our higher self is what people call it, or, the greater soul, or, we're always connected. And I believed that in my heart, but I had never pictured it the way that I saw it. I never really believed it. And the thing for me, when Kenadie passed, she was only 10. Kenadie was only 10 years old when she passed, and the thing that shattered me more than anything was her having to go somewhere without me and without her dad, because they were so close. And I just couldn't picture her without us. And that was really devastating, and I had never gotten over it. And in that moment, when she was hugging me, it's like that, my heart just went back together. And I had been living connected to her for a while at this time, and I said, "Oh my God, why didn't you show me this sooner?" And she just smiled, and it was so sweet. And she said, he wanted to give you this gift. And she's talking about Blaine. And it was just like, it was all meant to be. And it changed my life forever. And the next day, I'm thinking about it, of course. I just can't get it out of my mind. It's going through my mind over and over again. And I hear the word shared death experience, or the words shared death experience. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'd heard of that before, but usually it happens at the moment that your loved one crosses over. Sometimes people have a shared death experience in that moment, and they see a glimpse of heaven. And I thought, well, can you have a shared death experience years later, after your loved one has passed? I was like, that's interesting that thought just popped in my mind. And within the hour of me thinking of that, someone is talking on Facebook about and sharing an experience that they had. And it was a shared death experience that this woman's husband had with her mom when her mom crossed over. He didn't realize that his mother-in-law had crossed over at that moment, and he had a shared death experience while he was wide awake. He just, all of a sudden, there she was, and he's like, what is happening right now? And then they got the phone call that his mother-in-law had just passed. So that was confirmation for me that that's absolutely what I had just seen. So I know in my heart, I have no doubt that when Kenadie crossed over, I was there. Like, I never left her.
Yeah, and I think that's something that a lot of us have never even probably thought of or considered. I'm sure there's people out there that already know these things and feel that they've felt that for a long time or known that for a long time, but it never really crossed our minds until that point that we are there too. It's like now we think of things as like a small part of us has come here, you know, and the rest of us is still there. So we're never separated.
Yeah. And that's a really important message to get out there. So I'm sorry that it was such a hard one for me to share.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful story and a very personal experience, and we're so thankful that Blaine's family allowed us to share it, because I don't know, it's probably one of the most powerful things that's ever happened to us.
I love him so much for that gift.
Yeah, that's probably it for the video for this week. So if you like our content, you want to see more videos like this.
Not always like
sometimes
this.
I think the last video I was the blubbering one, or maybe a couple ago. So anyway, we're just putting ourselves out there, and it's not the easiest thing to do, but it's also very rewarding when we get such positive feedback from you guys. So thanks so much for that. It means everything.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, we appreciate you guys so much, and stay tuned. There's going to be more videos like this coming out soon.
Thanks.
Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video. We just want to take a quick minute to talk about our 411 community that we launched recently.
This is a space that we wished existed after our daughter Kenadie passed away. Inside is everything that we've learned about in these last 8 years, about living connected to our daughter across the veil and to the rest of our spirit team that's just waiting to help us. And we have found out that everybody can live connected. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you can check out the community at 411together.com. It's something that we wanted to make accessible to everybody that's out there.
There is a cost. It's only $4.11 per month. Just to keep that program rolling. If you guys want to check it out, we appreciate it so much, even if you just want to look into it. We think it's a really valuable tool. You can also follow all of our free content here on YouTube or on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We also have a free guide that we're offering that you can find
down in the description with all the other links. Thanks so much for being here. We appreciate it more than you guys know.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys a ton. We couldn't do this without you.